So I had to regroup, reset. So we gonna do this over again. So I don't know how much time I got. You know, um, I'll go as long as I can go. But I really needed to do this video. I felt like I had to do this video because I was just watching Stephen A. Smith on his podcast and just sitting there listening to him with all his jibber jabber, him trying to play victim when I'm thinking of how many people he victimized and how sometimes he just came across as just a turncoat and a sellout, which he is a sellout, you know. And then him sitting up talking about, when he got fired and, he couldn't get a job and not even BET or TV1 would hire him. Well, first of all, BET is not black owned. BET has been black owned since like 2000. And basically, Bob Johnson started the process of selling BET around 1999. So BET has been black owned for a while. So, and you got let go like in 2009 or something. You said you was living off your savings. Well, we all done had it tough. That's real. When I was a dude that was in the streets and stuff and was used to having money. But I refused to go back to the streets when I became a father. Let me tell you something. When I left my wife, I had like $20 in my pocket and got on a train from Stockton and went to Oakland and had to borrow money from people that I knew. I could have got fronted some work, but I said, no, I'm good. I had people that wanted to front me some work to get back on my feet. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. And I got it from the mud. I rebuilt myself up. I'm like Nipsey. I designed myself. So, we all then had it tough at one time or another. So, I don't feel sorry for a dude at the time that was still making over $1 million a year. Stephen A. Smith acted like he was headed for the poorhouse, talking about he was living off his savings. He didn't have any income coming in. Bro, please. You probably had at least $2 or $3 million, maybe even more than that in the bank. Dude, stop it. So stop making it look like you was living from, you know what I'm saying? Like he was living from check to check. Like he said, he said he had saved a lot of money. So come on, man. It's people that really live from check to check. They lose their job. It's like, yeah, they really in deep trouble. And I ain't gonna lie, I missed the old version of Stephen A. Smith. But he knew that Stephen A. Smith couldn't return to network TV, a major media outlet. Because the Stephen A. Smith that I first seen many moons ago, like in the early 2000s, yeah. He used to be on point. And he seemed like he was going to be that guy. But when they took him off in 2009 and he had to do that stint on Fox, he came back. He was never the same. He completely sold out. I'm talking about he became the ultimate company man. If they told him to jump, he would say, how high? If they told him to bark, it would be would it be like a Chihuahua or like a pit bull? So I remember the old version of Stephen A. Smith, for real. And I've always said this. When you work in that business, that line of entertainment, you only can be so black before you're ostracized. Even all, you know what I'm saying, the dudes that was putting it on the line had to fall back a little bit. It just comes down to how far they had to fall back. And I don't always hold it against them as long as they don't go to the extreme to compromise their integrity. And Stephen A. Smith has long done that. But for him to be sitting up there talking all this crap about T.O., now I've criticized T.O. for some stuff that he's done and said, but I don't think he's ever been to where Stephen A. Smith is. The Stephen A. Smith that you see on TV now at 55, 56 years old is disgusting. He's a bald man. That $15 million he make per year off ESPN salary and other stuff, not a good look. Not feeling that dude. But for him to sit up there and talk all this junk about T.O. like he just this stand-up dude, like I can't believe that T.O. did this to me and all this kind of stuff. Well, what about what you did? We all saw what you did to Kyrie Irving. And then you sat up there and had the audacity to sit up there and lie and say, oh, it's not personal with Kyrie Irving. But then you finally admitted that it was personal because Ticket TV and Too Raw for TV kept calling your ass out and exposing you for having something personal. So you finally admitted it that you had something personal against Kyrie Irving. Hell, you made sure Ray Rice never got another job. You made sure Ray Rice never got another job in the NFL. But you sat up there and defended Dana White. What happened to all that? Well, it's never an excuse to ever put your hand. Well, okay. But you said with Dana White, he's a friend of mine, and these things he always don't have the same energy. Just like he really didn't go in on Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers lied about taking the potion. And I mean, Aaron Rodgers flat out lied. He never had that same energy. He loved to talk about brothers when they get in trouble with the law and stuff. But then when these white boys get in trouble, he tell us wait till the facts come out. And I know this guy. He's a friend of mine. So I met him, and this doesn't seem like him. But then he always wagging his finger at the brothers. And that's just real talk. As far as the whole Max Kellerman thing go, I already pretty much explain my stance on the whole Max Kellerman thing. I don't like what Stephen A. Smith did to Max Kellerman. That's just real talk because the ratings were fine. But at the end of the day, once T.O. humiliated Stephen A. Smith in front of the world to say, probably do that barbecue stuff and do blacker than you, because that's a dangerous slope to slide down. So I kind of don't play them games. I know what I'm trying to say. You have to be careful you use certain terminology. Especially, I know what will take what you say and twist it, and I know what will take what you say and twist it, and especially when you gonna be reminded not want to bust. Don't tell about how Kwame Brown talks. He damaged. Like Kwame Brown, the only, and then at the same time, he was around coaches that really didn't want to invest in trying to make him a better player. And he didn't get no playing time. So how you gonna get better? There's been way worse people busting him. Saying I'm about Jerry Jones. Now Terrence Crawford got from under Byron. I don't know Byron. Like they're trying to get him have the same energy. Like I said before, I mean for years you saw Stephen A. Smith constantly attacking, but giving a pass to the others. Like I said, he had something to say about Floyd and his issues, but didn't say nothing about ESPN. Didn't say nothing about them white boy MMA fighters. Go look up what War Machine did to his girlfriend, to his ex-girlfriend, compared to Floyd Mayweather. MMA fighters that got in trouble. that caught DB cases, and ESPN has says next to nothing. And then they like to play these games. We're fair to everybody. No, your agenda is to demonize black athletes. And don't come on here talk about, well, if they don't want people to talk about them, then stay out of trouble. Well, sometimes trouble come your way. Okay, that's fine too. Well, make sure you say that about the white boys when they get in trouble. Like I said, where was y'all's where was y'all comments towards Chad Willer? It's amazing these white boys love to come on my outlet and call themselves trying to chastise me and tell me what I should talk about, what I should and what I should and what I shouldn't talk about. But they never had the same energy when it's somebody that looked like them. When it's somebody from the powdered milk village, they get real quiet. And then they love to come on here when they see you, like, basically going in on the brother. See, the thing is, I go in on everybody. Like I said, these so-called subs, these white subs, they disappear. They don't say nothing in the comment section when I talk about one of them. Now, when I talk about the brothers, then all of a sudden it's a great video. Oh, this is one of my favorite channels. It's one of my favorite channels until I talk about one of y'all. Then it's like, well, I don't know if I agree. Yeah, I know you don't. Yeah, I know you don't. Condescending and fake as hell. But yeah, I just got to put that out. Like, I ain't like these other dudes on here. I ain't no view hoe. I ain't finna compromise my channel and constantly attack black people for, for comfortability for people that don't look like me. So I just needed to get that out there. But yeah, man, Stephen A. Smith, he got his damn nerve. That man got his damn nerve. I'll say this much. I've done more interviews with Max Kellerman than I have Stephen A. Smith. Max Kellerman is on my channel a few times. Y'all already know what happened when I ran into Stephen A. Smith. Man took off running. But he talked like he want all the smoke when it comes to debates, and he is the smartest guy in the room, and he can bring it, and he embraces debate and all this kind of stuff, and he not worried about nothing. But this man was so intimidated by Max Kellerman, because that's just basically what it was. He was fearful of Max Kellerman because he felt that Max Kellerman was getting too popular. He felt that Max Kellerman was beginning to become the voice of the black community, and that bothered him. Now, I didn't appoint Max Kellerman the voice of the black community, but he felt that it was going in that direction. So that's another reason why he plotted against Max Kellerman. Listen, man, I'm fair. I will call the circle a circle and a square a square and a triangle a triangle. I didn't like what God did to Max Kellerman. Yep. Yes, it was, Damien. That was in LA, December of 2018. That nigga took off running. Everybody saw what he did. Everybody saw it. The man act like I was finna put hands on him or something, man. I wasn't finna do that. I just wanted to talk to the nigga. I just wanted to ask him, do you really believe the stuff that come out your damn mouth? And it was finna get hot. I can hold my own against Stephen A. Smith. And he ran. He didn't want it. So he ain't who he say he is. Because if he was who he say he is, he would have stayed right there and talked to me. Like two black men. And he took off. Say what you want to say about Max Kellerman. At least Max Kellerman stayed and answered my questions. And the funny thing was, he didn't even want to do no interviews no more. Really, the last time I did an interview with him, one of the very last interviews I did with him before he lost his gig at ESPN. Like I said, I done met Max Kellerman. I done talked to him off camera and on camera. Max is okay. Like I said, I just had to give him a reminder, come on, man, don't you ain't one of us, man. You ain't one of us. It's okay to speak, and speak up every once in a while when you see one of us getting dead wrong. But you have to understand, you're not one of us, dude. Because at the end of the day, your identification giving up his white privilege for nobody, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that. You shouldn't give up your white privilege for nobody. At least he admitted that white privilege existed. So I respect him for that. I respect him for that. That's real talk. But he shouldn't have gotten undermined by Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, and I hate to say that, I just think he was a little bit jealous of Max Kellerman. And I think he was fearful that Max Kellerman could possibly steal the show from him. Because for him to admit that he went to the bosses at ESPN and said it's either me or him, it wasn't even that serious. Look, I mean, for real. Because right now, from what I heard, that First Take is still doing decent numbers. I liked Max Kellerman when he was on First Take. A lot of times he used to out debate Stephen A. Smith, and that was another thing. He has the same complex and ego that Skip Bayless had. Skip Bayless, except Skip Bayless is a dude who likes to tokenize, and he know he can't function without black faces on that show. Skip Bayless is a horrible person. Just like I'll be trying to tell you, I know who Skip Bayless is. I know what kind of person he is. Skip Bayless is a racist. He's a racist. He's a narcissist. He's a cornball. He is a ass. He is a jerk. He is universally not liked. Okay? Go look at that once again. You think I'm lying? Go look at that article he wrote about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That article was racist as hell and condescending and disrespectful towards Kareem. And then we all know what he did to Troy Aikman, which for some reason, why did he care? Why do he care about who Troy Aikman is sleeping with or what he's into? What does that have to do with him? And the funny thing is, I didn't heard shit about Skip Bayless. So that's the funny part about the whole thing. I didn't heard stuff about Skip Bayless. Why he's so busy worried about what's going on with Troy Aikman, and I ain't the biggest Troy Aikman fan. I've already made that very clear. Well, they in the same they in the same category because Bill Maher, another at least he didn't finally just came to grips with the fact that he a racist. He don't even try to hide it no more. He used to try to act like he was down and all this stuff because he always would slip up. Just like he sat up there and said, "Hey, Obama, it's okay for you to act like a black man." Like how the hell you know what's acting like a black man to you, cracker? I can't stand dudes like them that think because they sleeping with some black whore. Like, and I mean, you were sleeping with the biggest whore in the industry, Corinne Steffens. That's documented. Like that's something to be proud of. The industry whore, the industry jump off. So yeah, Bill Maher and Skip Bayless, they kind of like, they kind of like in the same category. But I always thought that Bill Maher was a suspect racist. I would used to watch that show real time. He always would say something that was kind of suspect that he didn't have no business saying. But finally he slipped up. He slipped up and said what he said. And then of course you had of course you had Captain Coons and people trying to basically be a safe haven for him because it's always a coon or a sellout on speed dial that they can recruit to basically try to call themselves being the Negro whisperer to try to, you know, calm us down. But that don't work no more because we have our own voices now. So we don't necessarily have to fall in line. We don't have to, I mean, for real. We don't have to fall in line. We don't have to conform. We don't. We don't have to do what you say because now y'all don't get to control the narrative no more. Well, I've said that too about listen. I mean, Lion Killer told me some stuff about Skip Bayless, what he heard about Skip. Keep in mind, Lion Killer is from Dallas, so he know everything that need to be known about Skip Bayless. Now, what if somebody started putting Skip Bayless business out? So I'm just saying. But yeah, Stephen A. He ain't no different from Skip Bayless. Cause if you listen to how he talk now, he talk like he the man with the master plan. He all power in his hand. You know, he think he Thanos now that he could just snap his finger and make people disappear and all this stuff. So for him, just listen to him talk for like I only could listen to like 5 minutes of him talking. I was like, all right, man, I didn't heard enough of this. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to hear this dude talking. I don't want to hear this dude talk anymore because this is the same song and dance with him. People accuse him of being a sellout. Then all of a sudden he tries to play this role like, where is this coming from? Dude, it's a video trail. We all know that I can make a 4-hour video about all the times Stephen A. Smith came across as a sellout, a handkerchief head, and a cocoon, real talk. You got to understand these dudes think now, well, they used to think that they could just say something and they thought we'd be like, okay. They thought we was stupid. Like, where did he go? With nah, nigga. Nah, we got our own mind now. I'm like Professor Black Truth, man. We got our own mind now. So y'all don't get to just tell us something and we just be like, okay. Yeah. Them days is long gone. But like I said before, it was just laughable listening to Stephen A. Smith try to act like he's the victim and he don't know what he done to T.O. to make him so angry and all this kind of stuff. But like I said before, we already know what kind of dude Stephen A. Smith is. This is the same dude that got mad talking about, man, don't let me start talking about what I had heard about people, man. That's just weak. He's been threatening to tell other people's business. And Stephen A. Smith better be careful because you don't want to go that route because a lot of those NBA players got way more money than Stephen A. Smith got. What if one of them NBA players got so mad and said, you know what? I want to offer somebody $500,000 if they can dig up some dirt on Stephen A. Smith and they can prove it. I guarantee you all kind of stuff will show up all the way going back to junior high. So Stephen A. Smith need to be careful with that kind of stuff because you don't want to play them games about what you know and what you heard about people. So I think it would be in his best interest to shut the fuck up and stop always threatening to call himself exposed to somebody for somebody expose his black ass. I just think he need to pipe down. Real talk, not a good look. So I think that's very important. It would be in Stephen A. Smith's best interest to stop doing that because then that make people not trust you. If you sit up there and confide in somebody and then when they get mad, they tell your business. But that's the day and age we living in now where people tell your business and then, it's accepted and people celebrate snitching and all that kind of stuff and recording phone calls and all that stuff, and then exposing it to the media or to social media for everybody to hear. And people think that stuff is cool. I just don't respect that because I'm from the old school. When you tell me something, you telling me in complete confidence. Like I said, man, this shit that I know, what I'm saying, for real, that I could do, real talk. It's some stuff that I know that I could, like, but I don't, I'm gonna be cool. And that's why I made that video, like, trying to give a warning to barber bitch conversations. Like, dude, you need to shut your ass up, bro. Like doing that stuff that you doing for real. So I'm just saying, Stephen A. Smith, listening to him, it was just annoying. It was just annoying hearing him blabbering about how T.O. did him wrong. And I mean, dude, how many people you stabbed in the back? How many people you threw under the bus? How many people you dogged out? How many people's reputation you destroyed when you got on air? When you were allowed to talk? And like I said, most of them were fucking black. So, no, we don't feel sorry for you. We don't feel sorry. I don't feel bad for Stephen A. Smith. I don't. Because he was the epitome of a sellout. He sold out, and that's real talk. Now, let me get to Deion Sanders, and then I'm going to wrap this stream up. Listen, I don't like the stuff that's going on with Deion Sanders. I don't like the criticism. I don't like what Jason Whitlock is doing to him. I like what's going on with Deion Sanders. He seems to be a great coach. But let's not set the expectations so high to where it's impossible for him to meet them. We have to be careful with that. But I just cannot be all in as far as team Deion Sanders go. And I just cannot completely support him because go look at that video. And shout out to my boy Grant. He sent me that old video of when Deion Sanders attacked the black community when we were questioning Riley Cooper for saying the N-word, and he started talking about, well, everybody say something behind closed doors that they may not want. Well, first of all, he was he was outdoor at a damn country western concert. And then he tried to pull the fake, oh, well, black people call each other the N-word and all that stuff. When he went down that, man, when he went down that road, that really made me not respect it, because I'm gonna tell you something. This is real talk. Y'all already know how I feel about that. I didn't had, I've been contemplating for a while about should we use that word, but definitely it's never okay for anybody to use that word that's not black. Whether you think it's a double standard or whatever, how many double standards white people and non-blacks get away with? Everybody is allowed to disrespect us, but then when we say something back, then they demonize us for defending ourselves. So when he did that, I was just like, come on, man. You basically not holding dude accountable. He didn't have no business saying that. Nobody told him to say that. That was all on him. But for him to sit up there and try to wag his finger at black people, I was like, for real, man, fuck Deion Sanders. I've been saying that ever since I done made videos talking about how I really don't mess with Deion like that. I just never forgot it. Go watch that video. It's on YouTube. Go watch that video and tell me, do you feel the same way about Deion Sanders? I mean, for real. And tell me, will you feel the same way for him that you did yesterday before all this stuff happened? Go watch that video. Completely threw black people under the bus. But that's what people do. To sit up there and save and cape, and champion for other people at the expense of us. And this is why a lot of these people, these non-blacks and these white people, think they can come at us the way they do, because they think it's always some Negro whisperer or some Negro attack dog, all in the name of white supremacy, that they can call up. Like I said, when Deion did that, I just lost all respect for him. I thought what he did was cowardly, and I just thought what he did was weak. You hold Riley Cooper responsible, not the whole entire black community, because for you to sit up there and say all black people use that word, that's not true. You generalizing us. You're stereotyping us. Because I know some black people that can't stand that word. I done met black people that won't even let you come in their house. They will kick you out of their house if you use that word. Because I know in prison, they don't like for you to use that word. In jail, they do not like for you to use the N-word. That's just real talk. So like I said, when I heard Deion say that, that just gave me a real bad taste in my mouth. I just never got over that. I just never saw Deion the same way. If he would have said, hey, I don't like it. I don't like it. He shouldn't have said that, and he need to apologize. And if he apologizes, we move on from. And he didn't even really get disciplined by the NFL. And we know how Roger Goodell loves to lay down the law with brothers. He just got fined by the team, not by the league. But this is the same league talking about end racism. He should have been, you know what I'm saying? Remember, when Roger Goodell took over, he suspended Pac-Man Jones for a season out the gate. So why wasn't Riley Cooper suspended? Riley Cooper should have been suspended. He's on video saying that stuff. He should have been suspended for like at least 4 games. And he should have been issued, but look what that's funny. Think about it though. Michael Irvin lost his job. The NFL tossed him out on his ass. And then only to bring him back after they found out that lady lied on him. And they ain't even issued a public apology. But Roger Goodell, Mr. Judge Dredd of the NFL, didn't do nothing. The NFL didn't even get involved with the Riley Cooper situation. And that's something that should be reminded. And that's why I understand why Jim Trotter is suing them. And he need to bring that up. Somebody hit Jim Trotter up and tell him to bring up that Riley Cooper situation. No speech from Roger Goodell saying, "Oh, I'm disappointed. This won't be tolerated." But then again, they cover for Jerry Jones, for Jim Crow Jerry. So there you have it. But yeah, when Deion said that, man, I just never looked at him in the same light. I couldn't. And let me tell you something. When Deion was prime time, phenomenal football player. Whatever team he played for at the time, if it was the Hawks, he only played 1 season with the 49ers. The Cowboys, you would watch. You would watch. Because Deion was that good. But boy, when I saw him sit up on that mantle and sit up among those panels of pretty much black dudes and sit up there and throw black people under the bus, and then some of them do oh my God, disgusting. But we all know that was scripted in the pre-production meeting. We know they told him to do that. So like I said before, if you wonder why I'm not 100% team Deion, that's why. Now I know somebody gonna come here eventually and start popping off at the mouth. But like I said, go ahead. I double dare you. And please not be black so I really can go off on your ass. I stand by what I say. And I mean it. Like I said, I don't like what's going on with Deion, but I just can't be all in as far as leave Deion alone. And as far as Jason Whitlock go, we already know the type of person Jason Whitlock is. Jason Whitlock, I tell you, he literally goes to bed and wakes up wondering how can he undermine and compromise the black community. He's Jason Whitlock, he gets up on doing that stuff. He likes doing it. You know, I understand when somebody is paid to do something, but Jason Whitlock, he like doing it. He loves it. That's his pleasure. As you know, the late great John Witherspoon would say that's his pleasure. You grab a dog all day long, foot of a dog. I mean, for real. Jason Whitlock, wake up. How can I throw black people under the bus? What? Like I said, dude is doing extreme clout chasing. Extreme clout chasing. But for real, you guys, I just needed to say that, and I needed to get that off my chest about, one prime time and Stephen A. Smith, because I thought they deserved to get a dual video together, because that's just how I feel about both of them. I just won't ever trust Deion Sanders. And that's my right. But anyway, appreciate you guys tapping in. I'll be back soon. I'm out.